Hello, Sandy. How are you?
Hey Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing great, doing great. Really excited to be here today. I'm really glad you made some time. I know you got a lot of questions for me, and it's really excited to be here. There's been a lot going on in the world, and
There has been, yeah, it's been so exciting to partner with you on this AI certification program, and the response has been overwhelming. And I really want to I want to ask you some questions so you can kind of share with your audience what we've been up to. So when we think about the future of learning and development, which is what we both do for a living, so many executives, VPs, all of that, HR leaders are hearing AI, right? And they worry that it's either overhyped or it's just too technical for their teams. So in your experience, what's the biggest misconception that you see about, implementing AI in the workspace?
Yeah, the biggest misconception I really see is that everyone's afraid that AI is going to replace them. And in reality, AI is this superpower. It's like when electricity was first invented, everybody has, well, if everyone had plugs in the wall, and then you're given a plug and you're like, hey, this is how you use electricity. AI is actually an amplifier for people if you know how to use it. So you don't have to be technical. You don't have to be a data scientist, technology background, and so forth. If you use email, you can use AI. If you know how to turn on your computer, use your cell phone, you can use AI. So the real skill here is thinking of AI as a thought partner, not just as a tool. And that's different because that's like a mindset thing. And we get into that in the program. And there's a lot of value you can get at starting to develop your relationship as a thought partner with AI. And it's like any other relationship. It takes time, it takes practice. And I really believe that AI levels the playing field no matter what your background is, no matter whether you're technical, non-technical, whether you're 5 PhDs or whether you have high school education. AI is really a way to really level the playing field. And the success actually comes from consistent practice, not being the smartest person in the room. So it's all about practice, and everybody can practice.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's so important, and it really is a superpower for everybody. I'm not the most technical person, but I use it every single day. I've learned how to prompt it. I've trained it to our company, and it's been a huge time saver for us. But we'll never take the place of my marketing or any of that. You still need creative juices there. One of the things that drew me to you and to your company and to kind of your philosophy is that you're focusing specifically on those mid-sized companies and their employees rather than enterprise companies. Can you tell me a little bit about your philosophy and why that's a good fit for you?
Yes. When I researched the whole market on this, Sandy, I do have a technical background. I've worked with a lot of technology companies from startups to large enterprise. And I looked at the marketplace, and there's a lot of money and attention happening at the large enterprise level. So if your company's got 50,000 employees or hundreds of thousands of employees around the world, they're making big investments. But they're making big investments in the technology actually more than the people. And what matters to me are the people. And I know you've written books on this, Sandy, and all this, and I know you're passionate about people, which is what brought us together. And the mid-size markets, if you have a company that's got 5 employees or 50 or 100 employees, a few hundred employees, this market, there's a lot of people talking about AI, but not really practicing AI. And there's a lot of reasons why they're not. And there's so much benefit they can get. So the mid-sized companies, the smaller to medium-sized companies, there's so much value they can get out of using free AI tools, or maybe $20 to $30 a month of AI tools, which is a very limited, small expense. They can get tremendous ROI immediately. So again, focusing on leveling up the people, which is what's important to me. I want to see the value in the people. That way, whether you stay at your company or you go to another company, you've leveled yourself up by becoming an AI certified professional, and your career is better chance to get promoted, better chance to get hired at the next place, and your company benefits tremendously, whatever company you're working for.
Yeah, no, definitely. One of the core values for our company, and I think one of the core values for you, which is one thing I really love about your program, is that we all love giving people practical experience, things that they can take away from the training or the 4-week course. So if someone's watching right now and they took one action with AI tomorrow morning, what would give them the fastest, most obvious result?
Yeah, that's a question I get all the time. And when I'm having conversations with people, and everyone has their own individual answer to that. But in general, if I were to give you a general answer, start with email, because we're all using email. Email has been around for a long time. So if you're drafting a response to a routine business email, not a response where it's just like, yes, I received it, but a response that you have to give a little bit of thought to.
Yeah.
And it's very, very simple to use AI for this. And I'll walk you through the process real quick. You can open up chatgpt.com. If you don't have an account, you just get a free account with your email. And then you go and you type into the box. It's just a text box that people haven't been in there. But instead of just like, just asking like a random question or getting involved, you can type something in, like write an email to Sandy about this particular topic. And I want the tone to be friendly because I know her, and I want to cover these 3 points about the webinar we're planning. And then just say enter. And it's going to come back with a great email draft that you're not just going to cut and paste in, but then you're going to use your mind. You're going to level up yourself, because AI helps make you smarter. And you're going to say, oh, I like the way it phrased that, because within seconds, it comes back with probably 80 or 90% of what you want.
Right.
And you go in and you edit it as the human who's responsible for sending the email. You modify it. So that instead of me spending 15 to 20 minutes to write this like really good email that covers all the points, you can do it in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's better, right?
I love that. And that one small win creates momentum for you to kind of continue to keep going and try more. We do that quite a bit in our company, is like, let's plug this in and make sure that it meets our brand and our messaging, which is so cool. Such a cool thing. So everyone out there, try that today. And then you also talk about building daily AI habits rather than like that one hit wonder experiment, right? So from a learning and development perspective, what's one simple habit that can actually transform how employees work?
Yeah, this is a good one. So this is a little bit deeper than an email, and what I call a 2-minute morning AI check-in. I was actually meeting with an individual this morning. He's the head of logistics and coordination for a transportation company, and he asked me the same question. And I said, and he's brand new to AI, doesn't even use AI at all. So I showed him how to ChatGPT. This is how you get a free account. And I said, in the morning, you got a lot of stuff on your mind, because him and his wife, they do a lot of work for the company. And I said, you got a lot of stuff on your mind. So if you just lay out, you go into ChatGPT and you say, this is who I am. I have this role with this company, and these are the priorities I really look for every day. His example he gave me is, he said the night before, because they manage a fleet of vehicles, the night before, one of the individuals had a personal issue come up, so he couldn't work today. So at 4:30 in the morning, he's trying to shuffle his schedule around.
Right.
So I said, if you were to do this with AI, because he did it all by himself and it caused extra stress, I said, if you were to do it with AI, you say, hey, I have these top 3 priorities for my day. And by the way, one of our drivers called out today, so I need help to do that. How can I reshuffle my day? What's your advice, AI, to help make my day easier with all this stuff that's in my brain right now? Just like dump it into AI and say, how can you help me, AI? And see what comes back.
Love that. Love that very much. Yeah.
And there's a lot that we can do with that, because again, it's about the daily practice. So for him, he was brand new. And I said, start playing with it. Like you're a kid in the sandbox playing with sand and trucks and whatever, start with that with AI. Even if you don't start with your 2-minute daily AI check-in, start with something and play around with it, have fun with it. And then you're going to start to get your breakthroughs and your aha moments. And you're going to say, ooh, I want to do more of that. And you go.
Right. Love it. Love it. So recently you've worked with a couple of my companies, my companies, and you've got some things on your own. I want to talk about some real results from some of your recent trainings. You had helped a smart project administrator transform how they onboard new team members. Can you tell us that story? I think this kind of a story would really speak to what the professionals really care about.
Yeah, there was a number of different roles for that company that we're talking about, Sandy, and one was a project administrator who had to onboard a lot of project managers, and they had a whole list of things they wanted to do, and it was very it was a lot of lists, and it was a lot of manual interaction with the new people coming on, and it wasn't always the same. So it was a little tricky to try to navigate that. It was hard for them to really scale that. So as new project managers came in, they were a little confused with the onboarding process. It was a little bumpy, and they said, okay, this project administrator said, okay, how can I use AI to make this better? I said, okay, here's all the activities that we're normally doing. How can you make this smoother, cleaner? And they developed a process, an SOP, standard operating process, with AI. And they said, and they were using, for tools perspective, the 2 tools that they took advantage of just for people who are practically applying this.
Yeah.
They were using ChatGPT on the Plus account. So they were paying $20 a month for that, just because it gave them a little bit more horsepower. And then they were using a tool called Gamma AI, which for those of you out there who haven't played with it yet, if you do anything in business, anything with presentations, go check out Gamma AI. It is absolutely phenomenal at what it does. It is by far the market leader in doing this. So they use Gamma AI with ChatGPT Plus to share what their challenge was. It created this 9-page, beautiful visual standard operating process for them, their SOP. And it had everything that the new project manager coming on could just go through it step by step. Again, it was visual. It covered all the points. It was a lot smoother and cleaner. And they had over 25 dashboard elements in that were covered. So it was, again, a complex onboarding process that was made more simple and cleaner and smoother with the power of AI. And instead of them taking a week to get a new project manager productive and up and running, now it takes them 2 days. So tremendous impact for them.
Yeah, and that's the dollars that you save, right? And also what people really care about when they're coming into a company are clear expectations and a clear roadmap. So not only is it helping the administrator kind of get organized, it's also serving that new employee to really kind of onboard in a way that makes sense to them, which I really love. Gamma AI, I'm just starting to play with because I'm playing with all these AIs, and so I'm having some fun. I'm just plugging stuff in everywhere and just seeing what happens.
Love it.
And I'm an old bird, right? So
you're a quick learner on all this stuff, Sandy.
I love this stuff. So there's another powerful example that I want you to share. A VP using AI for strategic planning. How does AI help at that executive level? And what does this mean for developing leadership capability? And I want you to frame it in a way for us and for everyone out there listening. A lot of us Gen Xers and above are just like, what is this thing? Right? A little bit afraid. And we're bumping into a lot of leaders that are like, no, we're not gonna implement that. And I'm like, it's here to stay. So can you talk a little bit about that at the executive level, and why is it the new leadership capability, and why should they embrace this?
Yeah, it's really important. It is a new leadership capability, and it's important for leaders to really open their mind. There's a lot of leaders talking about AI, but not really knowing what to do with it. That's why I really encourage them to have a conversation with me or you, Sandy, and really talk about this, because this particular example is a VP of business systems. He was actually a power user of AI, meaning that he's using it every single day. Okay. But a lot of his leaders, like the CEO and the top people in the company, weren't using AI at all. And they knew that AI had this like power and this help, but they weren't sure what to do. So they said, just you go figure it out. If it can help us, go figure it out, go do it. So what he would normally do, again, before he was using AI, is he needed to create a tech roadmap. This is like a CTO type of level position. Yep. As a VP of business systems, actually. So his responsibilities for the whole technical roadmap, like where should we put in more money? And this is a $100 million company. So they have budgets that they're focused on. Where are we going to invest in people? Where are we going to invest in systems and software, et cetera? But his responsibility is to create that whole tech roadmap. And to do that, normally it would take him like hours and hours, and literally
months, maybe
months and weeks to do this, because for those people who haven't done it before, there's a lot of research involved. If you're going to say, okay, are we going to invest $100,000 for our company in this, and you have a budget of $1 million, that's important. That's 10% of your annual budget. Where are we going to put our money? What are we going to do? So you want to do a lot of research. So he leveraged the power of AI and said, hey, this is my roadmap that I have now, which isn't really well formed. I need to figure out all this stuff. I need to do all this research. He put it all into AI. AI did incredible amounts of research. One of the techniques I show in the program is how to do research across lots of different AI platforms, and then funnel that all into another AI tool, and then really just leverage that and squeeze out all the juice so you can really move really, really fast. And where in anything, it's like a super learning hack, basically. So he did this, and he basically went from 15 to 20 hours of research time. He got back on his calendar. Like instead of him doing 15 to 20 hours of research to do it, AI did all that research for him. And then he was able to make the decisions to really move forward and create the roadmap. So it saved him many days. I think it was over a week in time. So instead of taking a month plus to do this, he did it in a matter of, I think, within 7 days. And that was his capstone project for the program and the professional certification program that I do. Everyone's required to do a capstone project to really show the ROI that they're getting, and how they're delivering that to their organization. That way they can see the value that they're getting from the training and the value that they're up leveling their career with. So
which I love that, because it was like, why should we take time out of our day to do professional development? And like, this is why, right? You do some hands-on. This is actually going to save the company money. So invest, like we're talking, you know, speaking to the choir, but invest, and you're going to get back tenfold, right? And we talk about too, so customer success, which is near and dear to my heart, right? I'm really all about what's going on internally affects our external customers, right? So let's make sure that we're all good here. And you went to one more story I want you to share that I think will resonate with everybody who has clients and customers. You had a customer success manager who transformed how they handle meetings. We're all meetingitis, right? We're all so sick of meetings. This really feels like something everyone can relate to. Can you talk about that project?
Yeah, and this relates to anybody. If you're in customer success or if you're managing multiple projects, multiple clients, multiple internal stakeholders, you're in these different meetings, and different meetings have different contexts, but it's a lot of work. I'm not a professional note taker. It's always hard for me to have the meeting and take the notes at the same time. What's beautiful about AI, so this person had a universal challenge, just like you all probably listening to this. When you're in a meeting, how do you really pay attention to the meeting and focus on the people you're working with, and not focus on the taking notes, and then on the follow-up, you have the full context of it. So instead of just doing it all themselves and having all that stress involved and missing things because things fall through the cracks, they said, okay, how can I start using an AI tool to take the notes for me during the meetings and leverage that with other AI platforms and start saving a lot of time. This particular individual, customer success manager, had about 15 to 25 hours a week in meetings, which is like over half of their time for their work week, which is a lot. And they were typically spending 5 to 10 hours a week just capturing the notes, distributing the notes with the people, because there's a lot of communication with different customers, internally, externally. So what they started doing as part of the program is we said, okay, they figured out, let's use the free chat GPT version. They use Microsoft Copilot because that's one of their internal tools that they use, which is another AI tool platform. And then they use Fathom. Fathom.video is an AI note taker that records the meeting and does a full transcript and everything. And there's free versions of that you can use, which I use every single day. So that note taker. So what happened is they started using that combination, some AI platforms with Fathom. And as a result, they're saving 4 to 5 hours a week saved just from that one person. As they're sharing it with their team, each of their team members are saving that amount of time. And this is just one simple application of what they're doing. As they do other applications, and they start saving 10 hours a week, right? And that's like 25% of your week. So for them, they significantly reduce their stress. Because I want to say, we're talking a lot about time here, Sandy, but in addition to saving time, the stress level goes down and your quality goes up as you start to do this dance with AI, and you can start to do it effectively once you know how to do it, right? Which is what we do in the program, is show you how to do it, how do you think about it. And it's great. I love seeing the light bulbs go off and people are like, oh my goodness, I didn't have to work all weekend because I was caught up by Friday.
Yeah. I could give you a story about what I've done with my time since I've started. And I started going off of my all digital, every single piece of digital, TV, email, phone, all of it, 7 p.m. to bedtime. Like, done. Like I've got a lot, and that gives me more of creative time, right? So I love this stuff. So I'm so happy to be partnering with you. So want to talk about the certification program, because you and I are marketing that. We're telling people like, hey, come and join this, because this is what it's going to do for you, and not only for you personally and professionally, but for your company as well. I know that in the series and a bunch of stuff that you've been doing, you document that participants from this certification program, the one that we're talking about, can expect more than a 10 times ROI in the first year. 10 times. From an L&D investment perspective, how do you deliver those results so consistently?
Yeah, and again, it's with the so great question, because it's 10 times ROI. This company we're talking about, this $100 million company, they actually got more than a 20 times ROI perspective. So I'm confident that everybody can get 10 times ROI. They do have to do the work. Now, just to be clear, you got to do the work. You have to do your part, but it's really customized because of the way that the program is designed. It's customized for each specific role, and people quickly throughout the program. The way it works is we have 2 hours a week for 4 weeks in a row. That's how it goes. And there's assignments in the middle. There's a lot of support from me and from my team throughout the program to make sure that you're doing the assignments. You get help with the assignments that you need, extra office hours, whatever we need to do. But as you're going through that, you're going to quickly start to find the quick wins. And you're going to say, wow, I can start saving 5 hours a week here. I can start saving 10 hours a week if I do it this way. And this happens in a matter, it's just 4 weeks, Sandy. It's the fastest I've ever seen change management happen with an organization or with different people, different roles. I've been doing change management. I know you have for a while too, for like decades. So it's really, really exciting for me to see that. So if you just run the numbers, if this particular program, it's a $1,495 investment per person. So you do that. People are typically seeing the return on investment from a time savings perspective. Within the first 1 to 2 months, they're already breaking even on their time and money for the program. By the end of the year, when you annualize it out, and we've done the reports and we have all the data for it, they're getting well over 10 times ROI, not only on their time, but on their money investment. And when their stress goes down and there's all these other factors, the customers like you better and your management likes you better because your quality is higher. You're performing at another level. And without going out and getting another college degree or whatever, you've up-leveled your career and your ability to deliver value. So that's what we do to really hit it fast. We have a 4-week program. First week, we're focused on foundation and quick wins to get immediate results. It's very hands-on, very practical for your particular role, customized for you and for your company by the way we do the exercises and go through it. And then week 2, we're doing advanced techniques and some more automation. Week 3, we're doing more role-specific applications. Sometimes there's some complexities that different roles want to get into. So we get into those. And then by week 4, we're really focused on your capstone project, your custom implementation project that you've sort of been doing for a few weeks at that point, but then you need to deliver that and put that out at the end of the program. And again, there's a lot of assistance as you go through that. So you're doing from the get-go, you're up and running, you got your sleeves open, rolled up, and your hands on the keyboard, you're working with it.
And like with any L&D, with any quality L&D, it is about the work. You're not sitting there. It's not a death by PowerPoint. You're not bored. You're actually like implementing and utilizing this tool for your day-to-day work, which is what HPS is all about, which is what you're all about, which is why this works so well for us. Our clients have said the surveys and the results have been so great from our clients, and we're so happy to share this and be in partnership with you on this. So for anyone watching who wants to get these results for their teams, or even for the individual professional who want to get their next step and accelerate their own career, what's the next step in working with you?
Yeah, so the next step is we have our next live training program on the calendar. It starts November 18th, so it's coming up in a few weeks. We're limiting it to 50 people. We will share a link at the bottom of the LinkedIn for this particular webinar to go out to our website. We have all the details there for the program. It's on the company website, leadingaiagility.com, and you can find the details there. And if somebody is not sure about the program and they have questions about it, send me a direct message. I am more than happy to connect with you. We can talk back and forth, direct message, book some time on my calendar if we need to. There's a lot of people want to talk this through, Sandy. Like if they don't really know me that well, they don't know the company that well, because AI is moving really, really fast. I'm more than happy to talk with people as well. But bottom line is all the details are on the website. The program's coming up. It's really, really powerful. And for those of you who don't know me and Sandy, do your homework on us. We've been in this, we've been serving people for many years, and we're the real deal. So this is really important to me, to see people get value, and yeah, so that's what they do.
Awesome. That's great. Well, I think that's all the questions I have for you today. Yeah, so you'll have your website on the bottom, the link to have a chat with you if need be. And we're super excited to be partnering with you. So this is all over our social media as well. And we hope that people will take advantage of this amazing 4-week course.
Thank you so much, Sandy. Really appreciate everybody being here, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, everyone.